Joseph, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about depression. So, a lot of medical institutes, a lot of people themselves can come up with their own definition of depression. Now, my definition of depression is that it's a medical illness that alters the way you act and think, not only for yourself, but for the people around you. And, depression is a very saddening thing because I've gone through depression and I know how it feels to be alone. There was a time in my life where I had to make a college decision and I couldn't make it because I was being pressured by my family to either become a doctor, a dentist, or even an engineer. And those are things that I've never wanted to be. I've always wanted to be a businessman. And it took me about a year of depression to realize that I don't have to do that. That I can become my own person by doing what I love and going for, the things that I want to do and not what someone else wants to do. And after that, I've learned to overcome my depression because I began to act by myself, think by myself, do everything by myself, and it taught me to be my own individual. Now, for other people, for example, I do have a family member. She is my cousin, obviously, and she was going through depression, and she never told us about anything she was going through. She was having a lot of issues in school. She was having a lot of issues with her friends. She just wasn't getting along with, my aunt and uncle, which is her mom and dad. And she began to cut herself. She began to hurt herself, self-abuse. She used to trap herself in her own room, didn't want to go out. And her parents did nothing to help her. They did nothing. And the only reason I found out about it was because one of my best friends was the person to help her through it. And sometimes that's all it takes to overcome depression. And, I can stand here and tell you what it's like to be depressed, and I can stand here and tell you what it's like, not to be depressed. But it all falls in for who you are as a person. And depression can come in many different ways. Just because I've found depression in the way I did, and other people found depression in another way they did, doesn't mean we're going through the same thing. Because the way I went through depression, it didn't make me want to act and, push forward and want to hurt myself. It just made me my own, feel lonely. And for other people who've gone through depression, they may look like the happiest people in the world. And sometimes they're not, Sometimes the image on the outside that they portray is not the image in the inside that they're portraying. And today, I have a visual I want to show you guys. And if you guys look on my laptop, can someone tell me who this is?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. And if anyone knows Robin Williams, he is a stand-up comedian. Robin Williams was, if anyone knows him as an actor, funny guy, very lovable person. At award ceremonies, he used to act up, make jokes. And this man took his own life. And sometimes that's the sad thing about depression. You don't know it's eating you alive, or the people around you don't know it's eating you alive. And it just takes a life. It just took a life. I'm a huge fan of Robin Williams, and that's why I brought him up today. And he was someone I looked up to, and I thought was living a happy, ongoing life. But if he had to kill himself, there are obviously other factors influencing his life that other people didn't know about, okay? And this all comes down to what people can do to actually treat depression, okay? So we move forward and we need to understand that depression can be treated by opening up to others. I know, a lot of people, it's very hard to go talk to others. They think it's, not the smartest idea to open up to a counselor because people will make fun of you. But sometimes a counselor is all it takes. Just one session with them to open up and actually tell them how you feel is all it takes to become better. Because when depression leads you to the point of suicide, then how is that fair for yourself as a person? How is that fair for others as people? If someone you love takes their life, they're not only affecting themselves, but they're affecting every single person around them that cares about them. And there are other ways to overcome depression. We can also look at the fact of volunteering. Finding a place where you find yourself useful. And health.com says it all by itself. Waking up with a positive attitude can cure depression. Giving yourself that positive mindset can help the people around you overcome depression. And it also, if you keep moving down the line, it comes down to, back to volunteering, for example. If you go and volunteer and help others, maybe you'll want to help yourself. And I just want to end this on a very high note. I want to say that I'm a huge fan of a singer known Kehlani, and she says that nobody could love themselves, if they don't choose to love themselves. She says that can't nobody love themselves because they cannot choose to love themselves. Okay? So we need to understand that to overcome depression, you have to do it as a person, you have to mentally train yourself to overcome it. And then you can use the outside sources because you've allowed yourself to overcome depression. And then in total, that's what depression is. And I just wanted you all to be aware of it. And if you guys are ever feeling like you need help or you need to talk to someone, go ahead, reach out to me, reach out to the people around you because we all love you guys, okay? And everyone should love each other. And thank you.